The future of Marc Guehi in football is becoming increasingly clear, and the situation has generated a mix of tension and anticipation, particularly for Liverpool. The centre-back, who has distinguished himself as captain of Crystal Palace, is weighing his options with a clean slate and appears to be almost certain about what he wants for the next stage of his career. The scenario is fascinating. After nearly joining Liverpool during the last transfer window, with agreements between clubs and medicals already underway, Crystal Palace pulled out at the last moment, citing difficulties in finding a suitable replacement. However, reality is setting in, and the London club is beginning to accept that it may lose its captain in 2026. Oliver Glasner, Palace's manager, confirmed that Guehi had communicated his decision not to renew his contract, paving the way for one of the most decisive moments of the defender's career. Guehi now faces two major possibilities: move in January for a transfer fee, or wait until the summer and move as a free agent when his contract expires. According to Team Talk correspondent Dean Jones, the second option is the most likely. For Guehi, both professionally and personally, this represents a unique opportunity. As a free agent, he will be able to choose his destination with complete freedom while securing a highly advantageous financial deal. Jones explains that Liverpool, which came very close to securing his signature, now holds no competitive advantage. "I've been told it's almost certain he will go at the end of the season, not in January. That is the preference." The player is approaching the future with an open mind, ready to explore all options and define his next step strategically and carefully. Meanwhile, interest from foreign clubs adds an extra layer of complexity to the situation. For teams outside England, waiting until the end of the season makes more sense, as they could secure the defender without additional costs. Among the favourites mentioned are giants such as Real Madrid, Barcelona and Bayern Munich, who according to recent reports are in a more favourable position than Liverpool to acquire Guehi. This dynamic makes the international race even more intriguing, as Liverpool would need to act swiftly and shrewdly to avoid missing the chance to add the player to their defence. The scarcity of options at centre-back, particularly after Giovanni Leone's injury and with Ibrahima Konate also having a contract expiring in 2026, underscores the urgency for a strategic decision by Arne Slot and the Reds board. Liverpool, of course, may reflect with some regret on the opportunity missed last summer when Guehi was so close to becoming an Anfield player. Nonetheless, experts note that the reality of the transfer market is rarely linear, and decisions are made based on multiple factors. Pressure on the club is further intensified when considering that the window of opportunity is not limited to Guehi alone. Rumours suggest the Reds are already preparing a bid for a promising winger before his value spikes with the North American World Cup next summer. In addition, Konate's stance regarding Real Madrid's interest continues to generate speculation, reinforcing the need for Arne Slot and his team to monitor all market movements closely. For Guehi, the current moment is historic. The chance to leave as a free agent and negotiate directly with the clubs he dreams of represents a watershed in his career. He will not only be able to maximise financial benefits, but also carefully select the ideal environment for his professional and personal development. Such total freedom is rare in elite football, placing the defender in a position of almost absolute control over his destiny. Every decision now will be crucial, and every market movement will be closely watched by both Palace fans and supporters of Liverpool and other major European clubs. The unfolding of this story promises to be electrifying, with implications not only for Guehi but also for the balance of the Premier League and Liverpool's narrative in pursuit of strategic reinforcements. Marc Guehi's trajectory also highlights how player and club decisions can completely reshape the market. The anticipation surrounding his transfer illustrates the combination of timing, strategic planning, and unique opportunity that modern football offers. Liverpool, in turn, will need to balance desire, necessity, and opportunity, assessing whether it is worth waiting until the summer or attempting an early negotiation in January. Each scenario carries risks and advantages, and the club's approach will be decisive in ensuring they do not once again miss the chance to secure a high-level defender. Meanwhile, the international dimension remains a tangible threat, as clubs like Real Madrid, Barcelona and Bayern Munich possess the resources and prestige to attract Guehi even before the next season begins. Marc Guehi is therefore at the epicenter of a fascinating narrative where personal choices and professional opportunities converge to create a unique moment in an athlete's life. Liverpool, though attentive, finds itself in a delicate position, without priority, as it observes the player and potential international rivals move. This story is a reminder of football's unpredictability and how perfect timing can define careers. Every detail, from Leone's injury to Konaté's contract situation, contributes to the tension and anticipation at Anfield and beyond. Ultimately, what is at stake is not just a transfer. It is the future of a player at the peak of his career and the strategy of a club seeking to consolidate its defensive strength on the European stage. Guehi's next steps will not only determine the trajectory of his career, but could also redefine how Liverpool approaches high-impact signings. It is a game of patience, strategy, and vision, with every move closely followed by fans, analysts, and rival clubs. The story is still being written, but one thing is certain. Marc Guehi's decision promises to be memorable, and its impact will be felt for years, both in the Premier League and on the international stage, where giants like Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Bayern Munich are watching every development. The narrative of a player seeking the freedom to choose his destiny creates a plot of intrigue, opportunity, and excitement that keeps the football world on tenterhooks, waiting for the moment when Guehi finally decides where to take his exceptional talent.
Following Liverpool's ongoing transfer saga, while the board still comes to terms with the near loss of Marc Guehi, another intriguing chapter is beginning to unfold at Anfield. Florian Wirtz, the German star signed for a record fee last summer, is once again drawing attention, this time amid exit rumours that would unsettle any Red supporter. Guehi's story made clear that unique career opportunities can arise unexpectedly, and now Liverpool find themselves in a position requiring strategic patience with Wirtz, a player who arrived with enormous prestige but is still searching for his ideal role under Arne Slot. While the London-born centre-back plans his future as a free agent, the German midfielder faces the challenge of proving on the pitch that the £116 million investment was not just an expensive gamble, but a choice capable of transforming Liverpool across multiple fronts. Wirtz's early trajectory at Anfield has been a mixture of high expectations and a complex adaptation process. His signing was celebrated as a bold achievement, breaking records and leaving European giants such as Real Madrid and Bayern Munich frustrated at losing the race for the young talent. Yet the numbers have not yet reflected the player's brilliance. Following the Community Shield and an assist for Hugo Ekitike, Wirtz went 9 matches without scoring or assisting, which began to spark public questioning and fuel rumours about his future. The situation was further intensified by remarks from Emmanuel Petit, former Barcelona and Arsenal player, who suggested that Xabi Alonso might be interested in monitoring Wirtz closely for a possible loan to Real Madrid as early as January. While the idea made headlines, sources close to the club made it clear that such a proposal is virtually impossible. Liverpool have no intention of releasing their newly arrived signing and believe his adaptation requires patience. Dean Jones, correspondent for Team Talk, explains that Slot takes a very strategic approach with Wirtz. The manager understands that the player needs time to familiarise himself with the new system, the English football culture, and even the language. Slot's logic is simple. Pressuring Wirtz now could be counterproductive, whereas allowing him to find his rhythm naturally ensures long-term results. Even with some appearances on the bench, the message from the coach is clear. Wirtz is valued, and any absence from the starting lineup is not a sign of failure, but a strategy to shield him from pressure and allow his talent to flourish at the right moment. Slot's patience reflects his vision of modern football, where psychological management and individual handling are as crucial as tactics on the pitch. Liverpool therefore faces 2 simultaneous fronts, in both the market and on the field. On one side, there is uncertainty over Marc Guehi, whose contract ends in 2026, and who could move as a free agent, potentially to European giants such as Real Madrid, Barcelona or Bayern Munich. On the other, there is Wirtz, whose potential is immense, but whose integration requires time and care. The intersection of these stories perfectly illustrates the challenge facing Arne Slot and his board, maintaining a balance between patience and ambition, ensuring that neither a rising star nor an established talent slips away or underperforms. Meanwhile, the Wirtz loan rumours are denied, yet they serve as a reminder that foreign clubs observe every move of the Reds closely, ready to act at any sign of vulnerability. Furthermore, Liverpool continues to be active in the market. According to recent reports, the club is preparing a robust €75 million plus add-ons bid for a Spanish winger before his value soars with next year's World Cup in North America. This strategy reveals Slot and his team's mindset, acting with foresight, investing in young talent, and securing impactful reinforcements before opportunities turn into prohibitive prices. It is a moment of critical decisions, where every move can define not only the current season, but also the club's trajectory in the Premier League and European competitions in the coming years.
For Wirtz, the challenge is twofold: proving his value on the pitch while managing media pressure and high expectations from fans and commentators. Slot's patience is essential to allow the German to find his rhythm without compromising his development. Liverpool, meanwhile, demonstrate that they will not yield to external pressures, even when rumours about giants like Real Madrid circulate insistently. Arne Slot's talent management reflects experience gained from past signings, learning from situations like Guehi's, maintaining strategic control over the destiny of key players, balancing the desire for immediate reinforcements with a long-term vision. Looking at the bigger picture, Liverpool find themselves at a fascinating point in their recent history. Between the near loss of Marc Guehi and the careful management of Florian Wirtz, Arne Slot and his team demonstrate how market decisions, tactical patience, and strategic foresight converge to form a complex and exciting narrative. Every move of Wirtz will be closely monitored, every decision regarding Guehi could have significant consequences, and every future investment will be evaluated with the trained eye of a club determined to consolidate its strength in Europe. The season is only just beginning, but the transfer theatre and the drama at Anfield promise excitement and intrigue from the first to the last minute, placing Liverpool at the centre of one of the most compelling stories in international football in 2025.